Welcome to week 2 of these food vlogs where I show you exactly what my meal plan is, or I guess my main meal plan is for the main meal of the day. So let's talk about this week and a question that I actually got over on IG. Why am I really only showing my dinners? So the dinners are like my main meal of the day. I do eat breakfast and lunch, but breakfast, as I did point out at the end of the last video, is pretty repetitive, pretty much a variation on the same thing. Every so often, if I make something new, I might show you in these vlogs, but otherwise it's just, I don't know, I guess I can still say what it is, but it's pretty boring. And with lunch, a lot of times I eat at school and it's just really like snacking throughout the day. So there's definitely that like food intake, but it's not like a big sit down meal or anything like that. I just don't have the time in my work day. So that does leave dinner being as the main meals. Speaking of those main meals, here's what I'm planning for this week. For this week's groceries, I'm intentionally going to 2 stores. I stopped by the first store today, Asian Market. It's our version of, like, we don't have an H Mart in my city, so it's our version, I guess, of like a locally owned H Mart. To show you what I got, so I went because I needed some fish sauce, so I picked that up, and I needed some seaweed wraps as well, and I got this smaller bag because it says it's seasoned seaweed, and I don't know what it's seasoned with because I've never gotten this type before. So I picked those up, got some snacks. I love trying different flavored Lay's, and I never saw this one before on the shelves or anywhere else. It's Italian red meat flavor. Prawn crackers. Got some sardines for a meal later this week that I'm gonna make with some lima beans. Picked up some instant crystals for like to make like a hot tea. These are the turmeric, ginger, and honey crystals. I love taking like little packets of things with me, the instant teas or instant coffees, but a thing that they do in the States a lot is they put artificial sweeteners in things, and I'm allergic to all forms of artificial sweeteners. They give me really bad migraines. So this thankfully is just made with real sugar. A green onion pie. And then I was hungry for some bao, and so I picked these up. They are chicken mini buns. And I'm just feeling them now. They are really, really tiny, but that's okay. Quintessential super messy kitchen we got going on here. Tuesday night dinner, kind of looking like New Year's Day lunch. So some black eyed peas and cabbage, a rice dish, and a pork chop. Went to Aldi after work to finish rounding off this week's groceries. And of course to get some snacks. So some little cheese dip cracker things. I decided to try their version of Pop-Tarts. Got some hash browns. Some little treat yourself when you get home from work cookies. Haven't had either of these, like not their brand anyway. So the striped fudge cookies and the marshmallow fudge cookies. Needed some baking soda, some jam, cream cheese, some kielbasa, more potatoes, this time in fries, string cheese, and flour. I'm going to be making some bread later today. Now this is just my basic bread recipe. You didn't see that. It was beautifully poured. Some lukewarm water, just a cup of it. And then some active dry yeast. Calls for 2.5 teaspoons. Poured that. Didn't show you. It was so beautifully done. Just mix this up, and I let it sit for anywhere from 5 to 8 minutes until it's kind of frothy looking. And then I get all my dry ingredients ready. 2 teaspoons of sugar, teaspoon of salt, 3 cups of flour. Right, and just pour that in. And I start to mix that, and you have a cup of water left to add. Although, depending on like where you live, you might not use all of it. Sometimes I use all of it, sometimes I don't. So I add the cup of water in little by little. Keep on adding water until, and I apologize in advance because I know this is an ick word for most people. The dough is, quote unquote, a tad bit moist. Let me know in the comments what your ick word is. All right, and there it is. Took a little bit. I'm going to wash my hands and then cover this and let this rise for anywhere from 30 minutes to a half an hour. For anywhere from 30 minutes to a half an hour. I was so tired, I meant 30 minutes to 1 hour. And so that time has passed. This is the dough that I'm working with now. Just gonna turn it a few more times. All right, you're not gonna shape it perfectly because it's a rustic bread, but the ends should be a little like oblong shaped, not pointed though. So yeah, that looks good. All right, now that olive oil, I'm just gonna eyeball it to put on top and score the top so some air can get out, some heat and steam. 375 Fahrenheit oven for roughly 30 minutes. And look at this bread in all its glory. All in all, today I had to cook this for about 35 minutes. So I'm gonna let it cool and I will start eating it tomorrow. All right, so as you know, I picked these chicken mini buns up, and it says that use a steamer, which I don't have, or you can use a rice cooker, which I do have. So I'm going to do that. Oh, they're so tiny and so cute. Look at them. Oh my gosh, I love them. So I was thinking, when it said 6, I thought like, wow, 6 is a lot. But look how adorable they are. And look how cute the little bowl came out. So they are nicely cooked. I was gonna eat the cabbage, but a lot of it burnt. I don't think I put quite enough water. Some rice dish from last night and some pickles. I have a headache tonight, and I find that whenever I eat pickles, it helps my headache. So I'm gonna give that a shot. Dinner tonight, I'm going to finish off the leftover black eyed peas and cabbage, as well as that cheesy rice dish, the gift that keeps on giving, and some kielbasa. Here it is, all plated up. I'm gonna be honest, I love rice-a-roni dishes, but I more than likely won't get that one, the cheesy, like the 4 cheesy or whatever it's called. Really didn't like it, but I ate it because it was a choice I made. Probably wouldn't again. Friday's footage is missing. I had cheese pizza from the freezer Friday night for dinner. Woohoo, Monday beat me down. Okay, so I do have leftovers from lunch yesterday that I'm going to eat for dinner, but if you remember from earlier this week, or if you don't, I'll remind you, got this green onion pie. So there's different ways. So the regular green onion pie to create like a finger pie or an egg pie with this. I'm just going to do it this way. Love directions like this. This is how my grandmother would do her baking things to bake till done. So until they become golden brown. If I would take the time to read things whenever I purchased them, I thought that this was one big thing that I was getting. It's 5 flat little pie bread things. That is so cool. So it did. It browned up nicely. I realized that all I had for this was a pie server and some tongs, because for whatever reason, like, I guess I just threw away the little like spatula flippy thing. So a little got stuck, but that's okay. It looks delicious. And because I don't know why, I'm just feeling this needs a little cream cheese on it, so I'm going to put some cream cheese on half of this. A little schmear, perfection. So have the onion bread, some chicken, and some eggplant dressing. All right, so I think I did pretty well on the food budget as far as this week is concerned. Once again, I feel like I spent like small amounts here and there, but I'm sure that it's going to add up. I didn't actually do that math just yet. All right, so week 2 is done, and altogether that was $60.14. Now there were a few meals that I didn't pay for that like didn't come out of this. So the lunch that we had out on Saturday, my parents treated me to lunch, and then that was leftovers on Sunday night, as well as like whenever I went to eat lunch with them on Sunday. And then Monday, the leftovers of that were my meals. So there were a few meals that I did not pay for, all transparency, because I feel that sometimes people don't do things like that whenever they do like these recaps of what they've spent in the week. But yeah, that is what I spent on food. I am really interested to see, like, so that's 2 weeks in a row that I bought all that food, ate a good chunk of it during the week, but didn't eat all of it. So I'm interested to see exactly how far into this following week, so the week that you're actually seeing this, how far exactly that is going to last. We have 2 more full weeks of March. Do we? Yes, I just checked the calendar. So there's 2 more full weeks of March. So if you want to see how far this food stretches and my budget stretches that entire time, definitely do hit that subscribe button so YouTube will let you know when that video does go live. I did get a lot of feedback. Thank you for the feedback from the first video, by the way, about you wanted to see more meal planning activities, more recipes, more meal planning activities, more recipes. That is definitely in the works. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of your day with me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And if you want to know exactly what I spent my first week of March, that video is right here.